Okay, the final step, now that we've gotten the everything looking the way we want, the tennis CSS works fine. Now, one of the things that I would normally do if we're doing production would be to get rid of this right here and comment it out, but I'm going to leave it on there for now because this way I can test my responsiveness. Alright, so now we have to go to the web template, and we also have this tennis content file.txt that you can download from D2L. Alright, and this has the content for it. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to, instead of tennis template, this is going to be our home page. So I'm going to call it index, whoops, one I, index.html. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay, so that's great. So the first thing I'm going to do now is come to the title and do Trident Tennis Center Home. Then I'm going to look into the content file, and you can see here's the description for the home page. And I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'm going to go back to my index, and you can see we have this content section here. I'm going to replace it with what's in my content text file. Okay, then the next thing I have is welcome to Trident Tennis Center, yada yada yada. So all this is what's going to go into my section article. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, go back into my home page. Alright, and then here's my section article. I'm going to select the H2 all the way down to the closed P and paste it in. Alright, then I have some of this stuff is not where it should be, so I'm going to select that text and press Tab, and then I'll move it nicely into place. So everything is all right where it should be. Alright, so that's my home page. Let's do File and Save All. Let's go back here. I'm going to go ahead and close this and then refresh this page. Now remember, this is my template page, but I'll click Home. Now that's my home page. Notice it got gray because it's been visited. And then here's my new content. Alright, I don't have programs. That's the next thing I'm going to do. And again, this is responsive because as we go down, when it gets to the breakpoint, it now is responsive. So we don't have to, once we get their CSS page, all the pages are going to be linked to that one CSS page. We don't have to worry about it not working from now on. Alright, so how do I do my next page? Well, what I should have done the first time is I'm going to copy programs.html to make sure I get the right file name. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to close index.html, reopen my tennis template HTML, and then do a File, Save As, and then I'm going to paste because I copied that file name, and now I'm sure that it matches up with my navigation. And then I go into Content, and I go down to the next one. Alright, so for some reason, we're going to call this Academy Program. It's Programs, yeah. So it'll be Trident Tennis Center Academy Programs. Then I'll go back and get my new description. So every page has to have a unique description. So I'll Programs, and then I will grab this and I'll paste it in. Alright, then I'll go back. Next thing I'm going to do, you can see that the content that goes into the article is all of this. Okay, that's the next page. So now I'll copy that. I'll go back into my program HTML. I'll go down to my article. I will select the placeholder text and paste it in. Alright, this is all now not formatted correctly, so I'll come back here and I'll tab it over so that everything's nicely lined up. I'll do File, Save All, come back here, and I'll go to Programs, and now we have our programs. Again, this fits nicely onto the page, and it's all responsive. If I want to go back to Home, you can see now I have 2 pages, and we're off and running. Okay, so Programs is done. I'm going to close. Well, first I'm going to do is select Membership, copy that, close Programs, open up Tinus Template, and then do File, Save As, and paste in membership.html. Alright, then I'll go back here. We can see that it's going to have membership there, and then here's the description. So I'm going to copy the description. I'm going to select the placeholder description and paste in the real one. Then this, I'm going to type in mission, and then I'm going to go down and replace the content. Okay, so membership, I'm going to copy from 43 down to, that's the mission, so all the way down to here. That's our last page. And then I'm going to go back to membership.html, select my placeholder text, which is this right here, and paste in the new text. Then I'll select all this stuff that's not lined up correctly in my HTML, and I'll tab it over. There it goes. Now everything's nice. I'll do File and Save. Come back here and refresh. And now there's our membership program. It's all working nicely. Alright, so I'll go back here. I'll copy our last page, which is mission.html. I'll close mission.html, open up our template, do a File, Save As, paste in the file name, and that's our final one. Go back to our content, and this is mission. What do I call the other one? Did I call that? No, it was membership. I wonder if I called it mission. I can tell because I have it right here. What did I call this? I'm confused. Oh, that shouldn't have been mission. Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be mission. Right, and then I'll go ahead and copy our description for the mission. Go back, replace our placeholder content. The confusing thing sometimes is you got to make sure that you reopen your template file and do a File, Save As, and not overwrite the last page. Alright, then I'll move on down. Copy this all the way down to the bottom. I'll replace my placeholder with that. And then I'll take all this and I'll move it over. And we'll do File, Save All. And now this is also working. So now I got mission, membership, programs, home. Very good. So that's as easy as it is. You can see once I've done my CSS, everything is pretty much done. So we use a template whenever we're going to create pages from that are going to have the same CSS all the way through. Copying and paste is our friend, right? It's good to back up by having a tennis template and a tennis static so as not to make a mistake. This right here is what's going to allow you to pass this class. Starting, I think on week 3 or week 4, you're going to do a content assignment. I'm going to say you're going to have to create content, 2 pages of content a week until the end of the semester. When you're creating it, it's just like this text file right here. And that is, I'm going to have a title, a description, and then the text that's going to go on that page. And then I go down to the next one. I'm going to have a title, a description, and then what's going to go on the page. This is creating content, and it is the hardest part of this class. It's the part that you will dislike the most. But if you don't have 6 pages of content on week 7, the last week of the class, you will probably fail this class, because trying to make this content up in the last week is almost impossible. It just takes way too much time. So if you do 2 pages a week, it doesn't seem so bad. And then at the end of the semester, you will have everything you need to build a great website, and all you have to do is cobble it all together. All right, that's this. End of this week.